When it comes to my colour pencil drawings, there is definitely one tool in particular that since I've been using it, I cannot imagine having to create another colour pencil drawing without it. In this video, I want to go through firstly, what is this tool and how can you use it to make your drawings even better? So let me reveal to you what this tool actually is. The tool that I'm talking about is my Exacto Knife. I absolutely love this little tool for my colour pencil drawings and it's very inexpensive. You can get it on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get it, or you can get it from most craft stores. And so what I firstly love to use this for is etching in little details into a blank piece of paper before you go in with your colour pencils. You can engrave in some of the details that are really white in your drawing and you want to preserve them and you don't want to get any coloured pencil on them. So this is great to do. It's the first thing that you go in and do before you go in with coloured pencils. You just go in, use the side of the knife and just use that to dent some details into your work. And you can see that when you go over the top with the coloured pencil, those little lines or details that you've preserved, the coloured pencil can't get into those grooves, and so it keeps them really white, and it means that you don't have to worry about preserving all of those little highlights and going around those areas. So it's great for anything like white fur, any like little white hairs that you have, for example, in a beard, if there's a lot of white hairs, or in white fur on an animal. It's great for that. The second thing that I absolutely love using my Exacto Knife for is also once you've added the colour pencil already to the paper, you can go in with that little Exacto Knife and as you can see, it just scrapes off that colour pencil and leaves a really nice highlight. And as you can see, I've got 3 different colours here and I'll just show you that it works on all of them. Once you've applied layers of colour pencil, it works really well to lift off the colour pencil to reveal all the lighter layers underneath. You can get thinner lines or you can have a bit of variation and create thicker lines with your knife as well, depending on how you hold it. If you just use the tip of the knife, then you'll get more thin lines, but if you use a bit more of the whole blade, then you can get some thicker lines as well. So it's great for things like whiskers. Again, I love using it for hair to add details and flyaway bits of hair, and I also love it for fur. It's great for that as well. Here's the final result of all 3 of them. As you can see, you can get some really intricate details and patterns, and I'll be showing you in a bit what type of real life situations I use the knife in. Now you may be thinking, well Kirsty, does this work with all brands of colour pencils or just those Caran d'Ache Luminance that you're using? Well, on the left hand side I've got a Polychromos and then a Prismacolor and then a Caran d'Ache Luminance, and I'm going to show you one by one that this trick actually does work and this tool does work the same on all 3 of these different brands, and I'm assuming it would work on other brands as well. I've never come across a colour pencil that this technique doesn't work for. I would say, however, that it does work slightly better in my opinion for the Prismacolor and the Caran d'Ache Luminance because they are wax based, so they are more soft and creamy, so I feel like they lift up a bit easier. And you can get slightly brighter results, but really there's not much difference at all. So I just want to mention some things to avoid doing when you're using these techniques. And firstly, when you're using the etching technique, don't try and cut into the paper or try and like scratch it or tear it in any way, because if you cut into the paper rather than denting it, then what will actually happen is it doesn't work. You can see that you don't get those nice white lines preserved. It just looks the same, if not a bit darker, where you cut into the paper. And for the scraping technique, again, you do not want to cut into the paper, and you also don't want to go in with a lot of force with your knife. You're only trying to very lightly scrape off the surface layer of colored pencil. You're not trying to tear or rip the paper in any way, so don't use a lot of force. Now, like I said, I love using this technique for hair and also things like eyebrows. Here you can see I'm using the knife just to add some highlighted hair to the eyebrows, so little eyebrows. And this gives a lot of nice dimension because you'll have the shadowed eyebrow hairs, and then you're going to have a little variety by having some lighter ones in there as well. So it does really help with the realism of the whole piece if you go in with this knife And of course it works great for hairstyles. I use it so much when I'm drawing loads of different types of hairstyles, and in particular I love it for creating the little flyaway hairs and also details to break up each section of hair. So I'll get in the basic shapes and colours and sections and locks of hair, and then I'll go in with my Exacto knife as the last thing that I do to the section of hair, and just use it to add details, add variety, add little loose strands, not too many otherwise it will look a bit weird, but it gives a really nice overall look to the hair. This technique is also so useful for getting in little textures on the skin. For example, if you're drawing an older person, they've got a lot of texture and wrinkle to the skin, then it's really helpful for that, as well as for adding little details, for example, to the waterline. If you guys are enjoying learning about this technique and you love creating portraits in coloured pencil and want to improve your realism skills, then you guys can learn all of my techniques for this in one place and see how I create realistic portraits. You can use the code SAVE15 for 15% off at checkout, and I take you through things like how to choose skin tones, how to draw different types of facial features like an eye, a nose, skin, freckles, hair, all of that sort of stuff. So you can learn all of my techniques. They'll be in one place so you can learn them and apply them to your work. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Even though this technique has got great applications for portraits, it also works wonders for your animal drawings. I love it to add details to the fur, so I love using the knife to scrape off different colours for the fur and create details, but it's also great for etching in those little white hairs. For example, on the fox's ear here, I have already etched in some of the little white hairs, and then I'm going over the top with black, and you can see it preserves them really, really nicely. All of the drawings that I've shown in this video are available over on my Patreon in real time for you guys, so you can follow along with me and learn all of my techniques over on there. I have now got over 200 real-time tutorials on my Patreon, and so just for a small amount per month you can access all of them and all of the new tutorials I put up every single month. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check that out as well. So anyway guys, let me know in the comment section below, have you used this tool before? Is it the first time you're even hearing about it? Do you want to now go and get it and give it a try? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new around here, why not subscribe so that you don't miss out on all of my future tip and tutorial videos. But that is it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye everybody.